Hello, hello. How we doing today? We got another good one for you guys. Hello, hello. All our people out there. How y'all doing? Get my brother to pop on in here today. There we go. What up, though?
What's up, P? How you living?
I'm I'm living, my brother. I'm living. How you doing today?
Man, I'm as always happy to see another day, bro.
Man.
Yeah, I know you got the wife's birthday weekend, right?
Yeah. We gonna actually after we hit this, we are hitting the road. So we getting
Okay,
out of here. We getting
that's
out.
what's up.
We got some festivities for the night, and as you know, as usual, I'm always out of somebody's town. So,
Man, you stay on the go. That's a good way to stay sometime, though.
oh my God, my brother. Yeah, but life is good, so I cannot complain, and we're gonna keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Man,
We're gonna enjoy it, and my thing is celebrate your people, man. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And it's V birthday this tomorrow, so we definitely gonna celebrate. I
Okay.
Before we get anything started, um, really want to get a shout out to Tiff, man. I I I mean this from the bottom of my heart. When I say you just have family, man, definitely. We got a big package in the mail this morning from her, and just really, really touched my heart, touched V heart, and just really would like to say thank you, man, because that was super, super nice, and we really appreciated that. We really appreciated that. She
That's
kind
what's
of,
up.
we were talking about some things about, and I was like, yeah, I gotta find something for V birthday. And she said, oh, when is it? This is that, and she sneaky and underhanded, but we all knew that. We
Right.
all knew that. But yeah, I just really wanted to tell her thank you guys. So we really appreciate that. So what we got today, my brother?
Man, we got some interesting topics today.
Yeah,
First of
bro,
all, we
like
gotta
I,
tell them who we are. Tell them who we are. Who is you? What's your name? Peter.
no,
What's your
I'm
name?
Lorenzo today.
Oh, you. You was Zoe last, so you can't be Zoe
Okay,
2 weeks
okay,
in a
okay.
row.
So my name is Purnell Gates, and my brother over there is
Lorenzo Reynolds, Mr. Lorenzo on Mr. Lorenzo 989 on Instagram. Uh,
absolutely,
Trainer
absolutely,
Zoe, Zaddy. I go
absolutely.
by a few names, you know.
We, I'm gonna call him Zoe. I don't know. So yeah, he going crazy today, y'all. So
No, I'm gonna be good today, bro. I'm on.
okay,
It's a
okay,
chill weekend. I'm gonna be good all day.
okay. I don't know about the Zaddy and all that. We go.
No, I'm good. I'm good this weekend, bro. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm humble.
Okay, okay. Well, man. So what we got today?
So we got two exciting topics. The first one is, do you know me? Do you know me?
Yes.
And I think that's a good topic, man. That the mind definitely. She gonna say the prison minister. Wow, not the prison minister. Yeah, no, we ain't doing the prison ministry today. She might be prophesying something though for the future. You know
Okay.
what I mean? But yeah, man, do you really know me?
Right.
Which is a good topic, man. Just understanding, bro, how much we change. We
Yeah.
changed a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Over the years, through experiences, through trials, tribulations, ups, downs, trauma, change. There's a lot of things that changes us, and there's a lot of things that make us better too.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
not just the bad things, but just the experiences all together. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes, man, we could think that we know a person, and because of the course of time or the experiences or whatever have you, we really
Hmm.
don't. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting conversation, man.
Absolutely, man. And I was talking to you about this, and I was really interested in having this conversation because
Mm-hmm.
um, we just run into situations where I think people think they know you, but they really don't know you. Or I'm going to even say just a lot of different situations. You could be living with a person every day and not really know them.
Facts.
Yeah, so let's get into it, man, because I'm really interested in getting into this.
Uh,
Because yeah, I just think this is a really interesting topic. And what else are we looking at?
and then the other one we was talking about manipulation.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
manipulation and do you really know me? And
Yeah.
definitely want to hit it from both ends,
Yeah.
not just from a woman, but from a man's. You know, men manipulate, women manipulate. We manipulate as people. So let's look at different ways that we manipulate.
Absolutely. It was. I did a post today. I just really briefly want to say this. I did a post today, and I got a lot of. I called you about it. Got a lot of comments on that. I mean, we may even talk about that next week. Get into that next week because I like some of the comments that were on there, but I think it was a female talking, but I think it's always two sides to a story, right?
Yeah.
And um, she was talking and she was just saying some things about I'm trying to think of the word she had used.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of it right now, but just a lot of people were in disagreement with that. But
I haven't saw it yet, so
competition,
I'm definitely have to check that out.
yeah, competition, um,
Competition.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I really, really believe. I mean, with her saying that, I think every day it's sort of a competition. I'm in a
Catering to a man. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's get into that next week, bro.
okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I want to dig into that because
Yeah.
I really like that, and I like everybody giving their opinion about that also. So
Right.
let's go. So
All
what
right.
you got for me, my brother?
So first question, do you really know me? Off the dribble, what do you want people to know about you that not a lot of people know already?
Um, it's so many different sides of me, right? I mean, I do so many different things. I mean, I think first and foremost, um, that I am God fearing and a believer in God. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And I think secondly that um, I belong to someone. I belong to God. And then secondly, my wife. Right?
Okay.
I, I just think that's important because that's something that I'm proud of. That's something that I want to acknowledge. I want, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy being married. I think that's the best part of my life. I mean, just my opinion. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, I think that's what I want. Me personally, people to know about me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I said something that they don't know though. That's what I want
Oh,
people to
I'm
know.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So what don't they
Um,
know about you? That was good stuff though. You was
yeah.
preaching good too.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess when you say you don't know, a lot of people when they first meet you, those are the things that they don't know about you,
Okay.
right?
I accept your answer then.
Yeah, and I think
I was
that's
gonna
what you
kick you off the boat, but I accept that now.
okay, yeah, but I think that's what you want people to know about you. That if they don't know that, that's what I would want them to know,
Hmm.
right?
That's
So
good, bro.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Somebody gonna say, "Do you like him?"
so same question to you.
Oh, that I take pride in versatility. Just being very versatile. You know, my life has put me in situations where I had to be, very versatile.
Hmm.
From doing the professional boxing to owning the adult foster care home and being a trainer, being a father, being a father figure to my sisters, and you know what I'm saying. Life gonna put you in a lot of different situations and positions. You know what I mean, and so you have to. you have to take pride in being versatile, or you're not gonna make it. So that's
Okay.
one thing that I want people to know, that I carry and wear different hats because I have to.
What is your definition of "Do you know me"?
Um, that's good. That's a good question. I
Yeah.
think the definition of "Do you know me" to me would be um, to constantly study a person, right? And the
Okay.
reason why I say that is because we're always changing. And so when you love someone, you have to constantly study them. Some of the things that worked for your wife back in, the early 2000s may not work anymore, right? And so by you constantly studying her, that's simply saying that I'm paying attention to you, your needs, your wants, your desires, your aspirations.
Okay.
I'm studying you. You study us as men. We study what we like, and so it's easy to do that in the beginning. But as time go on, can you continue to study that person? And I think that's what really makes us successful or not.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what are some what do you want people to know about you?
Oh man, that's a lot. Uh, It'll definitely be some of the things you said earlier. Just my relationship with God.
Hmm.
Um, that I'm a fighter, bro. Just truly a fighter. I think at this point in life, we all have to be, but not just that. I think it's something unique in everybody's story, right? And so for me personally, it'll be, hey, I seen some of the lowest of the low times, but if I can make it out of my valley situations and on to a mountaintop, you can too. What did I do with those lowest moments? And so for me, it's like the lowest moments of my life, bro, is really when I locked in and turned to God and had a relationship with God like never
Okay.
before. So that's what I would want people to know the most. Like
Okay.
when it's crunch time, I know who to turn to, and that's God.
Right.
But that relationship though is constant. I ride down the street and talk to God all throughout the day. Like we
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
we cool. So when something happening, like it's me again. No, we constantly talking throughout the day, right or wrong.
And I'm gonna say this.
Your
That's
girl, your girl acting up already, Miss Tiffany. So
uh
personal
she
trainer
got
by day, male entertainer by night. I ain't did no such thing.
oh my God.
If they
Listen,
ain't got me on
listen,
camera, it wasn't me.
listen. She can do whatever she want to do today, all right?
I see. And I'm just writing those down on the tablet of my heart because I see she got favorites. She got favorites, but I'm all right
we
with that.
we rocking out with Tiff today, so she can do whatever she want to do tonight, brother.
Say it's just whatever she want.
Yeah. Um, bro, I hit this conversation because I kept on running into relationships or I have relationships with people,
Uh-huh.
family, friends, or whatever, um, that really don't know who I am,
Okay.
right? And I think a lot of times people will associate you with your past
Mm-hmm.
and say, I knew him then or this time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think you really have to understand or realize that I haven't been there. You haven't been around someone in years.
Yeah.
You'll see them maybe twice a year or something like that. But
Facts.
everybody evolves and everybody changes, right? And
I agree.
so you'll come at people or talk to people like they were when they were a child or when they were younger or years ago, and relationships and people change. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's why I thought this conversation was so important because I think all of us need to really look at that and just say, okay, wow, how do we really know people? You know what I'm saying? Do we really know who they are?
I like that a
I
lot, bro. I like that because you could meet somebody and just because they was that way in that season, that don't mean that they're that way overall. They could have been in a recovery season, or they could be in in the season where they was bouncing back from heartbreak or a loss of a person or whatever happened. And now you just made, you know what I'm saying? You just made judgment of thinking that's who they always are.
bro, I'm gonna say the two closest people to me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't really know them in a lot of areas. My brother, he's out in Los Angeles, right?
Hmm.
So we talk a lot, but I don't know his day-to-day
Right.
situation. We may talk about a situation, but I don't really know because we'll talk a lot. We may see each other 3 or 4 times a year, but to really know a person is to be around them on a daily basis because he's constantly evolving, constantly doing different things. And yes, we're close and our communication is there and the love is there.
Right.
But when you say to know someone is to understand what they're doing on a daily basis or understand how they're
Yep.
living their life. I'm going to say this, my wife, right?
Uh-huh.
I live with her every single day, but I don't know her when she goes to work or what she does when she's at work. She's working in the medical field. So her professionalism and how she handles situations in that area, I don't really know that, right?
That's facts.
A couple
Facts.
of, a couple of times I went up to her job and just seen her at work and was just like, oh, wow. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because
Amazing.
I don't know her in that light.
Yeah.
And that's where I think these conversations are so important because everybody assumes that they know someone and they really don't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
They really really don't.
There's an old saying, and I have to agree with it, that your perception is your reality. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
And because your perception is your reality, that don't mean that it's the reality. It's just your reality. So a lot of times you got his reality, you got her reality, and then you got the real reality. And just because it's your perception of a person, you perceive them that way, don't necessarily mean that it's true. So uh,
Right.
it's important for us, man, to just constantly be students, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So somebody left a question. It says, "How do you digest the person that you've known for so long?" I lost it. How do you digest the person that you've known so long when they turn left? How do you digest that?
I'm gonna say that. So what they're saying is, how do you? So if a person changed, you've known this person, and what they're saying is they've changed,
Yeah,
right?
they changed. I
And
guess left to
how do
mean
you
they changed
digest
for the
that? How do you?
worse.
So I'm going to say this, um, just like you would anything or anybody else, right?
Hmm.
Um, Seasons are going to change. Everybody and everything is going to change, right?
Right.
It's just about adapting, right?
Yeah.
I think the key to this whole situation is love,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
My the love for my brother doesn't change just because he's changing, right?
Yeah.
I have to adapt to his change. He has to adapt to my change. We're all adults and we're all grown folks, right? So we're allowed to change, and so we have to adapt. And I look at a situation. Um, if I had a car accident or something, excuse me, and my leg got cut off,
Right.
um, my wife would have to adapt.
Absolutely.
I would have to adapt, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so it's all about how you adapt to situations, right? And so I think those situations, instead of you pointing the finger at somebody else, we need to turn that finger and point it to self because it's on you of how you're adapting to
Hmm.
that situation, right?
Hmm.
Because their change could be for the better for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just don't know. But just because somebody changed doesn't mean it's for the worse. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then I think communication. Let's talk about it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Let's talk about that because, like I said, um, I think we're judged so much by so many people in this area in this situation, and to be honest, it's very hurtful. You
It
know,
is.
it's
It
very
is.
hurtful because um, you're assuming that this grown man is still acting like a 19-year-old kid
Right.
or a 20-year-old kid when you knew them.
Right.
And that's not the situation. You have no idea what life or people, you know what I'm saying? the same thing with a woman. You know what I'm saying? You're acting like this 19-year-old woman. I mean, this 40-year-old woman is a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah. It
That
changes.
yeah,
It definitely changes, man. And
that's right.
I
Now,
agree with that.
I will say this. Um, Treat people accordingly, right?
Yeah.
I have friends and associates that when I go back, they're in the same place. Their mentality is in the
In
same
the
place.
same place. Yeah.
So I do have to treat those situations accordingly, right?
Hmm.
But I think I'm just going to put it out there and I'm going to say it. I think a lot of times the people that are judging you in those ways is
Hmm.
because they're in the same place,
They're in the same place.
right?
Yeah.
So I think a
I
lot of
agree.
times we need to probably look at ourselves and say, okay, um, instead of us judging people or looking at people, um, you know, and I think sometimes too, and I'm going off. I'm not going off subject, but I'm switching to another one, relationships. Right?
Hmm.
We tend to um, judge people because we're in relationships with them,
Hmm.
and say this is this person, right?
Hmm.
You being a father, you
Hmm.
were in a relationship, and you are no longer in that particular relationship, right? I assume a lot of times you're probably getting judged for who you were then than who you are now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like I said, but I think a lot of that sometimes is the person judging to shake the bitter off of them,
Hmm.
right? And say, okay, let me take this situation or this man as he is, and let's see how we can work these situations out. Now, sometimes you do have to, I think in all situations, you do have to go into them with caution because if somebody showed you who they are, you're going to believe them, right?
Absolutely.
But be open enough for change, though. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
That was good, bro. I almost want to send you a cash app or a collection plate, but that was
I'll
all
send it to you.
facts.
I'll send it to you later.
So you got a little preacher in you. But yeah, man, I like that a lot, bro. And I think a lot of times, with a lot of people, they don't respond to trauma
Okay.
right or effectively. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times when a person experiences trauma, they'll
Mhm.
stop right there at that point. And unfortunately, some people will spend their whole life or the rest of their life at that point that they experience the greatest amount of trauma. So
Okay.
if that means with a person, that's what they're going to remember you from. So the fact that you changed, they're not aware of your change because they brain don't allow them to move past that traumatic experience. And so,
I'm gonna say I agree with that to a certain extent because um they can see change,
mhm.
but they don't adapt to it, right?
Right. And so I was
Everything.
saying one of the reasons why is because of trauma. One of the reasons why is because
Um.
of trauma. So the reason why I say that is, okay,
Okay.
think about it.
What
Okay,
if
so
there?
this is my example.
Sure.
You was with a woman years ago, right?
Okay.
And she don't forgive you because you didn't take the relationship serious or you played her or whatever the situation is.
Sure.
You're not that man anymore. You're married. You married and you committed to your wife in a union. But she still see you as that cheater because that's what she experienced from you. And a lot of people was not only will hate you, but will stay single for the rest of their lives because of that.
Okay.
And so who you bring in?
I don't
So,
know. Somebody, I thought they had a question or something, but that's
so
okay.
yeah, you gotta be you gotta watch who you bringing in. So you
Yeah.
gotta be careful,
Sorry.
man. Yeah, I see some beds and some chains and stuff in the background. I don't know what was going on.
Hey, we ain't gonna know till we bring them in. So let's
Yeah.
come on with the smoke.
Okay. So yeah, man, people gonna stop wherever they experience that trauma, and that's why they still hate you or don't want to forgive you because of that, because they haven't left that traumatic thought or that traumatic place in their mind. It's not you, it's because they haven't forgave.
Okay. I guess in situations, do you think it's even a forgiving situation, right? So if people are judging you, right?
Yeah.
It may not even be. It may not be anything you've done to them.
All
It
right, so
may
look at
just,
this comment. This was somebody said. They said, if a man raped me when I was younger and he grew up to be a pastor of a church, I'm still gonna feel a certain way about him.
and you're
So again,
supposed to,
yeah,
So I look at that situation as, and some. Okay, I'm gonna say this: some situations aren't supposed to be forgiven,
mm,
right? Just, and that's just my opinion. Or if the forgiven, I'm gonna let God forgive, and I keep my distance, right?
okay,
And what I'm saying is, or um, yeah, I just think certain situations aren't to be forgiven, or certain situations you just say, okay, you know what, this isn't a person that I want in my life. But if it's a person that is in your life and you're constantly having um, communication with, right,
uh-huh.
and you guys are family, I think that's a different story. A situation like that, um, I want them far away from me and far away from my family and my loved ones, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah. And so,
absolutely,
wherever he's pastoring at, I'm going to another church, or I'm going to another situation.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
with the
So yeah,
with that being said, it is an understanding that sometimes you can't remove yourself from situations, or
hmm
um, in the areas that people are. But I would just say try to keep your distance, right,
right.
and keep your guards up.
Dr. Noble said you can forgive without allowing somebody to get close to you again.
Right.
Forgiveness does not equal access. Yeah, I
I
agree with
like it.
that.
I like it. I,
hmm
I
But
like
yeah, my only point is some people, don't forgive because they stay in that traumatic thought. But yeah, man. But it definitely varies from situation to situation.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
How have you changed over time?
Ah, man, that's a good one. I would say, man, my biggest change has been to be humbled. I've been humbled to know that things don't have to happen my way. Yes. And it took bumping my head and for things to actually not happen my way. To me, bro, when you say God, I trust you,
Hmm.
that's to say God, I trust your plan as well.
Okay.
And when you say God, I trust your plan, it's not always the way that you map it out to be, or you ain't in control of that, bro. And you can't
Yeah.
manipulate that situation. Like, you know what I mean? You got to be like, okay, you know what? It's okay to know that I'm not completely in control,
Right.
and to let things happen organically. You know what I mean? So yeah, that would be my biggest thing, man. Just knowing that life don't always go the way that I thought it was gonna go, but being that God is in control, the things that are meant to happen, they gonna happen.
So I just read one of the questions. Somebody has said Dr. Noble didn't forgive me for making the coochie comment.
I think did he forgive her? We gotta ask him that. Doc, did you?
uh,
I don't think he was never mad because
oh
he
my
handled
God.
that
So
question like a G, and then
listen.
he
Oh man.
Doc he later on got a Nobel Peace Prize, for answering that
So
question.
Dr.
So
Noble, did you forgive her?
I think he did. We gotta see
We
what he
need to
say.
know.
Doc, did you forgive her? Or was you? He said it never will.
Oh, he said he never will. He said
uh,
it never will.
I thought it was one of the highlights of his life, but maybe I was
Oh
wrong.
man, listen, it was mine. I almost burst. Oh, man, I was like, oh my goodness, wait a minute.
He said it never will. He said it with conviction too.
Oh my goodness. So, um, why is it important um with family with this? Why is that important?
For family to know who you are,
Yeah.
again, because you change, because we always change, and then um, we need to be a part of each other's growth. If a person ain't a part of your growth, then they're gonna try to meet you where you once was.
They're gonna try to explain. I didn't hear what you said.
I said if a person is not a part of your growth, they'll always try to meet you where you once was, but you're no longer at that point. mentally, physically, spiritually, financially.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't at that point. And so if that's the only how we related back then we're not gonna relate to each other now. You understand me? And so in order for us to remain relatable, in order for us to continue to sharpen each other, like the Bible
Right.
say, iron sharpen iron. If
Right.
I'm gonna continue to sharpen you, then you know what I'm saying, I can't come with this idea that worked in the early 2000s. I got to come with something that's going to work for the now. I got to come with something that you going to understand as a man that's nearly, your age. What you like, 75? I got to come at you with wisdom of a 75-year-old man. If I come at you with something that you understood when you was 25, you're going to be like, hey, bro, I ain't there no more.
Right.
So again, if you want to be a part of a person's growth and a part of their success, you got to continue to evolve with them. You know what I'm saying? So
And I think, yeah, and I think that's even with your growth. Yeah, like you say, even with your growth, I think that's important. You know
right.
what I mean? I'm looking.
Oh, read that comment. Read that comment, P.
What is that?
It said, "Hey Renzo, you so handsome and smart." Did you read it?
No, it went too fast.
Oh, okay.
How do you block
That's all
people?
I need is one compliment a day.
How you block people?
You can't block her. She need, yeah.
Inappropriate comments, we ain't gonna have them. We ain't doing that on here. We are not doing that on here. What you got, my brother?
So same question. When it comes to family and growth, what's your biggest thought on that?
I think it needs to be a communication, bro, because um
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel that but I think that's hard sometimes too with the communication, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I think when people think they know you, um the conversation usually goes left, or they think they know how this conversation is going to go, or I think a lot of times a text is appropriate starting off. And I say that because if it's someone that knew you as a, okay, I'm gonna give an example. So I was talking to my sister about a situation, right?
Uh-huh.
And she was like, "Oh, but you'll act like this, or you're this, or your reaction will be this, right?"
Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah, it wasn't." Right?
Mm-hmm.
But my action used to be this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my action now is a little bit different. And I'll go off on situations or fuss
Mm-hmm.
about situations, but I'm fussing about situations that are very important, right?
Okay.
And situations, I tell people this all the time. If I fuss, be happy because I care. If I don't fuss, that means I don't care about you. And if you
Yeah.
know better than anybody, I will pay somebody to get out my face quicker than anything. I
Hey,
promise.
that's definitely a
I,
sign of love. That's a
I, I,
sign of love.
I
It
promise you,
kind
bro.
of remind you know what that remind me of in the Bible
What's
when
that?
God say He chasten the ones that He loves. You correct the
Yeah.
ones that you love and the ones that you see potential in.
It's bringing stress to me to say something to you,
Yeah.
but I'm
So I ain't
doing it
gonna say nothing if I
anyway.
don't care.
But I'm doing it anyway because of love,
Yeah.
right? And it would be easier for me to say, I don't care,
I don't care.
right?
Hands
I,
off.
I, I
Whatever.
don't want to correct it. I don't want to correct the situation because it has nothing to do with me anyway.
Because at that point it's kind of like a whatever happened happens type thing, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right, I
And
got one for you. How does somebody said there are some family members who don't want you to grow, as in not to outdo them?
okay,
Have you ever experienced that? Or have you ever experienced somebody else who experienced that?
I'm gonna say this. Um, I haven't experienced like that, but I had associates or whatever. But this is my thing.
Uh-huh.
You can't stop what God got going on.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And so, um, if you're focused and you sitting back and say, okay, you know what, this is what I need to do. I can see the hate, but
Mm-hmm.
you can't stop me. You can't stop me. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
told you something last week, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart when I was telling you.
That
Huh? Go ahead.
when you was telling me what?
When I said it's a revenge,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's not a revenge towards a person, but the revenge is me getting better,
You
right?
getting better.
Bruh, if I'm gonna just say, watch me, as my dad say, watch me, Aaron.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
You have to, bro. You have to,
Yeah, yeah,
and to me, that's when it becomes a healthy competition. I'm in a competition with myself to be a little bit better.
bruh, it has to be, right?
Uh-huh.
I have to get better, right? And if someone makes me mad, I'm working harder to better myself and to uplift myself because it's go time, and it's go
Yeah.
time for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing against you, but it's me making me better, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I promise you, every breakup, every situation, my hand to God, I'm like, how can I make me better?
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I promise you, I am like laser focused on. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I agree 100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely feel that way, bro.
So yeah,
100%.
put keep throwing logs in my fire. That's all I can say.
Yeah. That's all it's gonna serve at the end of the
Bruh,
day
listen,
is momentum, you know?
listen. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Question. So, do you really know yourself?
I'm gonna say pretty well, but always learning myself too. And that came with maturity, bro, to say that I don't fully know myself or know myself enough because different situations gonna bring out a different side of you. It's some things that you say you'll never do, and you'll find yourself doing them if if the right opportunity comes. So yeah, I
I,
ain't gonna lie, I danced for Miss Jenkins, but I needed some money for my kids, so
I, I meant to tell Aunt Jean you called me with that nonsense too.
Oh, you talk about my boo, Aunt Jean?
Talk about you gonna jump out of birthday cake. So yeah,
I was jumping out that cake for Aunt Jean. Now
listen,
I admit
listen,
I've been
listen.
retired.
I promise you.
I've
Okay.
been
I
retired for
promise
some
you.
years,
We gonna
but
FaceTime you. So
for
don't
Aunt
worry about
Jean, I
it.
jump out that cake. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever it takes. You know,
Okay.
if it's about making her smile, and that's what it takes to jump out.
All right.
Yeah. So if I date your Aunt Jean, you gotta call me Uncle Lorenzo, right?
We back. Hello. We
So
back.
you want to call me Uncle Lorenzo? That's disrespectful.
Shoot. What you got for me? Crazy.
So with this whole "do you know me" thing, what has been some things that you've had to learn about your wife over the years? Because it's been what 15 years, right? Or 17?
Uh, we've been together 20, been married 17.
17, yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you found yourself have to constantly learn over these years
About her or me?
about her? We don't care about you. What you learned about her?
Bro, it's so much, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Cake.
I'm gonna say more than anything, the kindness of a woman heart. Right?
Mmm.
I've
That'll
never
preach right there, bro. The kindness of a woman's heart. Tell us about it.
I've never witnessed that or seen that or
Can you be plain
um
and just say, in order for her to put up with you, it's kindness and love? Say it. I want to hear
shut up. No, no.
it.
I'll come to the table with something and she rocking with it.
Okay.
Right? And
Okay.
she's rocking with it to the extent of it may go left and she'll come at me and say, this is our commitment.
Wow.
right? And so I'm gonna say for me that our relationship is constantly me changing her and her changing me, right?
Right.
But
Right.
hopefully for the better, right? And we have to look at situations or whatever. Like I was studying for this. I said, "Hey, babe, I'm studying," and she there like, "What you been doing?" I was like, "Okay." So well, I'm studying right now. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And she walking out. I said, "Well, just shake your booty for me." And she shake her booty and walk out the room, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say for me, it's stuff like that, right?
Okay.
Me saying that was saying, I'm not trying. I just want to get this done. I'm not trying to ignore you or this
Mm-hmm.
and that, right? And I still love you. And then it's her acknowledgement of doing that to say it's okay, handle your business, right?
Yeah.
And so everything don't have to be said.
They don't got to be said, right?
You know what I mean? And like I said, we can do our actions sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
I
I
and
think
I seen it fall off on you, bro. And I won't go into detail because you know we share some private stuff. But when you
sure,
called me and you told me like, hey, that person who I'm supposed to give to, I'm gonna give to that person, and I'm gonna do it because it's the right thing to do. I
right,
ain't say everything to you, but I knew I'm like, you know what? A lot of that has to do with God blessing him with a good wife because
yeah, yeah,
you know, me just knowing the situation, I knew the person really wasn't deserving on what you was doing, but it wasn't
hmm,
about them. It was about you still needing to do what you needed to do. So I was like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the testament of having a good wife. So, y'all.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is knowing that is a big part of knowing yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I say that because I think knowing yourself is saying okay, um, or knowing someone else,
Right.
right? Her knowing me and say I know what your heart is.
Mm-hmm.
I know you hard headed. I know where your head want to go because you feel like this is you're being treated wrong or this isn't right, but your heart is here and this is who you are. And I think sometimes other people knowing us, right, is reminding us who we are, right,
Mm-hmm.
and what direction we need to go.
Right.
Yes. So I think that's pretty deep sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And man, I that's one of the things I miss about my mother the most. You know what I'm saying? Just her being able to look at me and be like, "What's wrong? I know you hiding something." You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes just to
Mm-hmm.
get that hug and be like, "You're gonna be all right." You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
the thing that I miss the most. So when on my search for Mrs. Reynolds, it's certain things that I look for that
Mm-hmm.
back in the day I wasn't mature enough to look for them now. So I thank God for people who wear tight underwear like you
You're
who
welcome.
can provide, you know what I'm saying, certain examples because without examples, how do you know what to look for? You wouldn't know if it was right in front of your face, you know?
Right.
So yeah, we thankful, bro.
I'm gonna try this one more time. I don't know what's up with this, but we're gonna see. Somebody wanted to come in.
Hey,
Hey, how
Hey,
are
how you
you?
doing?
how are you? I finally made it. I
You
made
made
You
it.
it.
made it.
I'm good. How are you
Yes, I
today?
did. Yeah, we did a lot today. It's always, like you said, you and your wife's on the job. It's always exciting. There's always something new, and
Yes.
there's always something we're into. I'm the needle person, so I'm the one that's good with the needle. So it's always a challenging thing when you're in the medical field.
Let's get
Mhm.
But
it.
from my perspective, with you guys, um, I've been reading some of the comments and listening to you guys and the young lady that you had on earlier, which I
Okay.
viewed her point and she made a statement. And a lot of women have a lot of, how do I want to put this? Low self-esteem demeanors. And sometimes a man can make you feel that way. You can be in a
Okay.
relationship for so long and he can tell you you're not this and you're not that, just to set you back from going on with your life when he's on with his. A person can
Sure.
tell you that they love you every day. You could be married, you've been married for what, 20 years? You can be in a marriage for so long. Like
Hmm.
like she did today. I'm gonna use myself. I was married for 10 years.
Sure.
I have 3 kids. They're well off on their own,
Hmm.
and I made the decision to walk away. It got out of little hand a little abusive, and with my father being a police officer, he just said, "You either get rid of him or I will." But
Okay.
love overrules a lot of things. I
Right.
could have been one of those women to say, "Well, let me stay in this marriage for my children. My baby was 2 years old. I retired from Publix. I did 30 years there, and they put me through medical school. I'm an LPN.
Okay.
I mentor young youth girls who've been in a situation that I have been in. But we have our own choices. And to be in the competition with somebody, you know that you have to be in a competition with somebody. Not knowing Jester is one thing, but to know is another thing. You can be the best wife you want to be. You could be challenging in the bedroom of anything that a man could ever possibly want you to do. It does not matter if he chose to go and do, that's what he's going to do. I don't care how good you are. Hard as I work, there was half of the table was mine.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm going, and I can stand on that.
Sure.
But I have been single since 2009, and it doesn't bother me. I sit back and I go out with my girls. Like I told you, I visit my sister in Memphis. I told her I wanted to meet your brother. Remember I told you I wanted to meet your brother, and her and Mr. Dockery pulled some screens. Probably about a while later, and I when I met him at the Iconic Awards show, and they do things like that for me to just get away, to like clear my mind, because they think things bother me, which it don't. I have a mindset. The chapter is about me.
Okay.
And I'm going to always make it about me till I get that foundation to build with somebody. Like this is my creation. So when you got a woman that can stand in a man's chest and be on her own, ain't no competition. I'm my own competition. So when you set your boundaries as in love, to love somebody and to be genuine, where does that start? When you had no flaws with your wife.
I guess I look at, when I say competition, I think personally it's always a competition. I'm always in competition with myself to be better. And I think people look at competition sometimes and say, well, that's a bad thing. Even with my wife, I'm in a competition for us to be better, right? For me to treat her better and for her to treat me better, right?
I watch that. I watch you guys. I observe.
Right. And so I think when people say competition, sometimes they can look at it and say, oh, that's a bad word, or that's the wrong word to use. And I don't think so. And I think it's all about how you take it and how you take that tool and work with it, right? And I think certain situations, like you were saying, your situation, if you're in not so good of a situation, that competition can be bad, because it can be against each other and not with each other or for each other, right? That we're moving in a direction together. It can be apart, that we're moving in apart, or somebody's trying to manipulate me, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And so, like I said, it's all about the relationship and how you take it and how you take certain situations. And the video that was on earlier, and the young lady was talking about, I'm in competition because there's other women out here. I totally agree with that, because I think what she's saying is, if you're trying to get a man, right, that's a competition, right? Because other women are trying to get his eye, or this, and that. And I don't see anything wrong with a competition. And I'm not saying that she's doing this, you're doing this. You're trying to better yourself or put yourself in the best position to get his attention, or get that man that may be the person that God have for you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, just outright saying, oh, she's doing this, I'm doing this. No, I don't agree with that. But I do agree with, get yourself together and be in competition.
That's why I put that post on there. I'm the artist of my own life. I would never give any woman or any man the paintbrush. And I just feel that with the way the world is today, who wouldn't want to be in love? Who wouldn't want to love? Even your love. Like I listen to y'all. Everybody needs a person, needs a you. But when you and your wife get into a situation, I agree. You never go to bed mad. We're gonna talk about this before we go to bed.
I ain't gonna say Listen,
we're not gonna go to bed, man. You're not gonna turn your back on me. We're gonna go to bed. We're gonna deal with this before we go to bed.
I mean,
We ain't going to bed, man.
we'll lay in the same bed. I'm gonna be totally honest. Sometimes we'll lay in the same bed. Sometimes I'll come downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that my love is any different, right? But
You're running
I
from
just
the
feel
problem,
like,
though. You're running from the
huh?
situation. You feel you're running from the situation. Let's
I
talk
don't
about
think
it.
so. I think more than anything, I'm thinking about the situation, and so when I come back, I can come back correctly, and I'm not coming back harsh, right? Because I think a lot of times, if we don't take a breather or we say what's the first thing that's on our mind, it can cut somebody like a knife, right?
But this is the love of your life, so you should never value to put yourself in a situation to even feel that way.
But
But we're
sometimes,
human, like you say, we're human.
emotionally, sometimes I don't think you can help that, and so I think a break or a timeout sometimes is healthy. I mean, I think it's to each person. You know what I mean? I don't want I say this all the time. Your intentions are everything. Your intentions are everything. My intentions is to be the best man or the best husband I can be. I know I'm not. You know what I mean? I know people walk around like, I don't know how she deal with you or how she put up with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm crazy, I know. But but you know what? I try to love her the best I can, and her love me the best she can.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I
absolutely.
understand.
Absolutely. You got anything for her, Rich, so we get her out of here so we can get these other questions out of here? And thank
Uh,
you so much for jumping
yeah.
on with us. We
You
appreciate
are so welcome. You are so good. I've been waiting on this.
it.
I've been waiting to show out because y'all I mean, it's about us, but it's about y'all too.
Yeah,
Because you
you
know
know
what?
what?
Hey, a man can be a man outside the house and inside the house, and a man can be a man to everybody. But it takes a gentleman. It's gonna take a gentleman and a real man to come up in my house because it takes a real man to wear a magnum.
What? Well,
It takes
invite
a
us
real
over
man to
here
wear a
then.
magnum.
Man,
We don't have
thank
to
you
worry.
so much. Thank you
You are
so much
so
for
welcome.
coming on.
And thank you guys for having me.
No, no problem. Thank you for coming on. And like I said, if you have one thing we don't do
No, why
is
he laughing? Why he laughing?
No,
Why you
I was
laughing?
just,
You
I was
fighter
just
now.
thanking
You
God.
fighter.
I was thanking God for something He did last
Always.
week. That's it.
Always. First and foremost. Always.
one thing we don't do, we don't run away from no problems or
It
no
seems like you
questions. We
running.
coming at it.
It seems like you running. Hey, I'm from Miami Beach, Florida. Don't make me make you back up. Don't back
Uh
up now.
oh.
We ain't
Uh
running from
oh.
nobody.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. I'm just
Thank you
kidding.
so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, absolutely.
Good night.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Renzi Renz. She came in that play. She came in swinging on us. I was like, oh.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I
I
like it.
love it, brother. I love it. I really appreciate that, especially, all the comments and everything that we get. Like I said, I love it, man, because
Oh
I think
Lord.
sometimes they help us and we help them. You know what I'm saying? As far as just life in general, you know what I'm saying? Or just these questions. So yeah, I love it. I love
Mm,
it. And I'm crazy anyway, so you're welcome.
yeah. She said that man got to wear a magnum. I usually don't get stunned too quick. I was a little stunned.
I know. I was like, oh,
Yeah, she definitely left her stamp. I'm gonna have to see what
let's
the
get it. Let's get it. I
I'm gonna have
like
to
it.
see
I
what the
like
OG Dr. Noble think about that one.
it.
Doc, any of those courses, I'm referring it to
And
you.
guys,
So
while we're on here, please share and if you're not following us, follow us, please. Thank you so much. And please share with your friends and family also. And we appreciate that. So what you got for me, my brother?
man, let's 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 tap into this manipulation before we get
Let's
up out of
get
here.
it. Let's get it.
And it may be the case where we need to carry this over. If we do, we'll carry it over into the next conversation. But yeah, let's at least let's dig into it a
No,
little
let's
bit.
get it. Let's
Manipulation.
get it. We good. Soon as we done, we hitting the road. So we good. Let's get it.
All right. Dealing with manipulation. What percentage of people you think operate out of manipulation? People. That's both men and women.
100.
100%.
Mhm.
Mm.
I think everybody in one shape, form, or fashion, deals in manipulation, right?
Yeah.
And I think the thing with manipulation is understanding what manipulation is and understanding what it is, why you're doing it, and for what purpose you're doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just my opinion. I think there's good and bad manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
So
yeah.
what would be your example of bad manipulation first, and then what would be your example of good manipulation?
I think I'm gonna just keep it as simple as this. I think bad manipulation is trying to get over on someone or trying to make them think something that's not
Mm-hmm.
right, and
Mm-hmm.
for your personal gain,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And I think the opposite is manipulating someone in order for them to do something for their gain or for their better good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I think when most people hear manipulation, they think of,
Get scared. Yeah.
yeah, or automatically think of the worst, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it can be both. It can be
Mm-hmm.
both. I mean, you can use manipulation for the good. You know what I'm saying? Or to I'm manipulating you to try this food, or to
Yeah.
um,
Somebody said it's intentions, and intentions is everything. What was your intentions?
yeah.
At the
And
end of the day, that's really important.
and Rez, you know, I live on that. I live on that word of intentions because the reason why I live on that is everything that come out my mouth is not correct.
Mm,
All of my actions are not correct.
absolutely.
My intentions, or what I'm trying to do is always
In
I
the
have,
right place. I
yeah.
see what you're saying. That
I,
makes sense.
and I will live by that. I
Okay.
have no bad intentions towards a person, or
Control.
yeah. I may
Yeah.
say something that may offend you, but my intentions are not to hurt you or harm you, right? And so, yeah, yeah. Um, what is your definition? What is manipulation to you?
Manipulation to be, using your influence or your power to control the situation. You forcing the outcome to go the way that you want it to go.
Okay,
And again, I agree with you. If you're doing that for a selfish reason, then that's bad manipulation. But if you're doing it to better the situation or to better other people, then that's good manipulation. And we know that good manipulation is also could be known as persuasion or influence. I persuaded this person or I influenced them. It's really the same thing as manipulation. It's just you doing it for the better. You know what I'm saying? And it's
okay,
not just to serve you, it's to serve a few people or a town or a country or just something that's greater than you, man. Anything that's greater than you. And so all that going back to your intentions. So all those root words, they all go back to the same meaning. If you look them up correctly and study them, they all go back to the same meaning. So
okay.
there's definitely good manipulation.
Um, I don't want to let this go without us acknowledging that we heard you say better and that wasn't better. So I just want to acknowledge that.
Did I say it better in what?
No, I don't know what you said. You was trying to say better, but it wasn't better. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that. You're welcome.
Oh, so that's what we're doing?
Yeah, we doing that.
I like it. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page and you weren't
We
trying
on
to.
the same page. That was just me manipulating the situation a
There
little
you
bit.
go. I like it.
You welcome.
I like it. Hey, I gotta ask this. Can you think of a time where you was manipulated by a woman? Let's tell it. Go ahead. I want to get down to get a little stanky, get a little dirty, get in the mud a little bit.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You,
I don't recall.
you recall?
I don't recall.
All right. Well, tell us a time one of your friends was manipulated. Tell us about it.
I don't recall.
You can't tell us a friend that was manipulated.
I don't recall.
Oh my God.
What you're asking me to do is be what I'm against, and that's snitching, and I just can't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I can't help but to respect that.
What is a way you can stop people from manipulating?
I'm gonna say the biggest way is to be educated on it. When you educated on certain things, trick no good. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's
love
that's
that.
the coldest thing when you say,
I
you know what I'm
love
saying?
that answer. Wow, I
Because
love that answer.
I see what you're doing. I'm educated on it. I know it. So being that I know it and I'm educated on it, you can't trick me. A lot of times when people do use those kind of tactics, they use them on people who are uneducated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so being that I know it, you can't fool me with something that I know. So it's power and knowledge. It's truly power and knowledge.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How can manipulation be good?
Like we said earlier, if you okay, back when we had kids, right, and we wanted them to eat their vegetables, we told them, if you eat these vegetables, I got what you really want for you, which is the applesauce or the sucker or the candy or whatever it is. But first, you got to eat these vegetables. It's manipulation, and you getting them to do what you want them to do, but it's for the greater good of that body to get those nutrients. So, in a case
I
like that,
thought you was
and
going to go
then
somewhere
just,
else. I thought you was going to go somewhere else with the manipulation, right?
oh
And
yeah,
so, you're a massage therapist, right?
yeah.
How do you manipulate there?
Okay, when you you want the good answer or the bad answer? Which one you want?
Lay it out on us. Hey, it's your answer.
All right. So when you're dealing with massage therapy, right? You got a
Right.
person that's the muscle becomes intense, right?
Okay.
And so by that muscle being intense, it's gonna tell itself that it's in trouble. Being that muscle telling itself it's in trouble, you're gonna get inflammation around it, right?
Okay.
And if you want that inflammation to go down and that muscle to not feel like, nope, Miss Tiffany, I ain't going there. If you want that muscle, she's talking about some happy endings. Nope. If you if you want that muscle to feel relaxed, then that's where the massage come in at.
She said
Once that
happy ever
muscle,
after.
one I ain't going there. Once that muscle feel relaxed,
She said happy ever after.
that inflammation to stop going down. I ain't answering that because they gonna have it to where I don't never get a wife, and I ain't gonna do
Oh
that.
my God.
My wife might be on here. I want her to think I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't know how to manipulate to give her a happy ever after.
I didn't say I didn't. But if you pleading the fifth, I'm pleading the fifth too. We both plead the fifth.
Okay. Oh my
Like I
God.
say, y'all nasty. See how he tried to set me up? He tried to manipulate me to set me up to tell on myself why he don't
Thanks,
tell on
Jeff.
himself. I ain't doing it. But if I wanted to do it, I would do it like this. No, I ain't telling that. That's funny.
Oh my God.
What you
Oh
got for me,
man.
champ?
That took me out for a minute.
Yeah, that was funny.
Um, what would be your overall situation? So if you had to explain manipulation to your children, right? How would you explain it to them, good and bad?
Okay. By me having a daughter, right? The
Yes.
first thing I'm gonna tell her is I love the fact that my daughter is in high school and she's taking college classes. She's taking her education very serious. I think that's very important because she can position herself to where she don't have to be with a man for financial security or be manipulated because she don't have the education or the knowledge to get a job or be an entrepreneur or do things herself. So my thing with her is, hey, when it's that time for you to fall in love because that's something that you want to do and because you feel that is divine. You feel like this is the person God sent you versus you being manipulated because you feel like this person is going to take care of you financially. So you go out there, you get your education, you take these business classes, you go to seminars, whatever I got to do in order for you to feel empowered. I want to give that to you so that you don't put yourself in that situation. A few years ago, I was reading this book called Bridges Out of Poverty, right?
Okay.
And one of the things they was talking about is when people are in poverty, some of the older women teach the younger women to use their bodies to get the things they need, whether it's advancement in the company, whether it's money in general. It's a learned behavior till women are taught that sometimes by other women who are also in poverty. So if you could change the mindset of poverty, then you could change poverty by itself. And education is indeed a bridge out of poverty, one of the bridges out of that. So let's get it. Let's be educated. Let's be independent until you find out that you want to do it for the right reason. And that go for my son too, because at the end of the day, even as a man, you'll find yourself doing jobs that you don't want to do. And these jobs can take you totally away from your purpose and your passion. Because now you feel like you have to do it because you need to make these couple dollars or because you have to live check by check. So let's use this education to, as a bridge out of poverty. So that's my example to both of them. Don't let your situation, because your situation ain't together, allow something or someone to manipulate you. Because a job can manipulate you. A person can manipulate you. Your city and your kindred, all these things can manipulate you. So that's my biggest thing that I want to give my kids.
Okay, what you got for me?
When it comes to manipulation, when do you have to make sure that you're not using manipulation to get what you want? When do you have to check yourself about it?
All the time.
Okay.
And I'm being totally honest all the time, and I say that because I think that goes down to your morals or who you are, right? I'm gonna say for me all the time, and the reason why I say that, a lot of people that I deal with, I understand they want to deal with me because of my influence, right? And a lot of times I can manipulate that situation. But I have to look at the situation and say, what's the better good in this situation? Or how can I use my better good in this situation and not manipulate situations or not take advantage of situations just because people want to be around or people want to be close to you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And so I really have to judge that, bro. And even just people being around, some people just want to be around to manipulate you for the hard work that you've put in or the name that you made for yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? And yeah, that's tough.
That's real tough.
Yeah, real tough. And like I said, sometimes we have to cut people off.
I think that's mature that you said you have to look at that all the time, because I think for any person of influence or power, one of the greatest things or the most challenging things for us to do, and that's not to abuse your authority, right?
Right.
And so when you hear that word, not to abuse my authority, it doesn't necessarily mean sexually. It could be you just abusing your position or your power, your influence in any kind of way. And you see that when you come to certain managers or CEOs or anything.
I try to sometimes sexually, Vanetta just don't be falling for it. But
are you talking about when you play that Bobby Blue Bland song and these last $2 I'm not gonna lose?
Last $2.
These last $2. Who that? Tony Taylor.
Man, listen.
We're gonna have to give you a new playlist, man. You can't keep coming with that old playlist. You need to let some of them young boys hyping it up.
So, my brother, give me your overview on what we talked about today.
Okay, I'll start first off with knowing yourself. I think it's important to constantly make assessments, right? Assess what you're bringing in, assess what you're letting leave out of your mouth. Your words are powerful. Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yes.
Take an assessment of the knowledge and the information that you receiving. One of the things I try to do, bro, most days is I get up and the first thing I do after I pray is I try to listen to a motivational speech, right? Just to feed myself something positive before I cut on the news, before I get on Facebook, before I get on IG or anything else. Make sure you're feeding yourself something positive. That's the greatest advice I try to give my kids. So constantly make assessments on where you at in life. Ask yourself, where am I? Where do I want to go? Am I on the path to become better, or am I on the path to destruction?
Mm-hmm.
There's a behavior and action that will lead us to either our success or either our demise. And not only do we have to make an assessment, but we have to make an honest assessment. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes an honest assessment can mean asking somebody else, bro, where do you see me? Where am I at? Where am I at financially? Where am I as a father? Where am I at as a single man? Where am I at all together? Am I getting better or am I getting worse? So continue to make assessments and just make the necessary adjustments.
Okay.
And as far as manipulation, educate yourself. You cannot receive enough education. And education don't necessarily mean going to a university or a small college. It could just mean reading and learning something new about yourself or about your environment or about the rich history that we have. We as colored people, we have a rich history that goes far beyond slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. Like, we need to know who we were before that. We need to know how Masamula was once the richest man on the planet. We need to know certain things. We need to know even about our homeland. So just educate yourself and constantly remind ourselves that we don't want to be manipulated, nor do we want to manipulate other people for the worse.
I like it. I like it. You called us colored people, so that's 2 today. I don't like that. Don't. I'm messing with you.
Hey, that's funny though, because this lady said that at the store, and I felt some kind of way. She was like, you a handsome colored guy. And I ain't know whether it was a compliment or a backhand, and you know what I'm saying?
But I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Though. I liked it.
But since it was the first compliment I heard that day, I took it like, you know what? I'll be a handsome colored guy.
Oh my God. I'm gonna say with "Do You Know Me?" My closing words on that is get to know yourself first and foremost, and really dig into yourself. So when you're talking to someone else, you can really explain to them who you are, right? Because I think a lot of people don't really know who they are and want people to take them as something else, right? Or I'm this, and this, but they don't really know who they are, what they like, or what to see. If you can't explain it, and then I don't think that's who you really are,
right?
A fantasy of who you are or whatever in your own mind, but people can see you another way, right? So who are you, right? Really, really know who you are. Really, really know what you like, and really, really know if stuff came down to it, what you would do or how you would react to different situations. Yeah. That's, in my opinion, telling who you are, right? That's what I have on who you are.
That's amazing, bro. I like it.
Yeah, and I think with manipulation, again, I think both situations are educate yourself. Educate yourself on what manipulation is, and I think it's really, really important to be able to see it and then to be able to stop it. And what I mean by that is other people may try to manipulate you or do some things to manipulate you. What can you, how do we stop it? Right. What do we say to say, hey, I don't like this, or hey, no, this is not what I want to do.
I like that, bro.
I think that's super important, because those are the main reasons why I wanted to talk about that, because it's our reactions to stuff, not necessarily all the time our actions. So I think that defense will help us and push us a lot in what and how we're doing things.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
I like the way you said that too, man. I was reading one of the Proverbs, and it was saying that he who guards his heart preserves his life. And so when you say that defense is to say, I'll allow this to happen, but I'm only gonna allow it to go so far before, before
I'm
those morals and that integrity kicks in and say, no, I can't just, you know what I'm saying, do
but
everything.
to be honest, what are we living off of?
Yeah.
And you said it's the integrity, bro.
Integrity is everything, yeah.
When I die, that's my name, my integrity, or who I was, or how I made people feel is all I'm leaving on this earth.
That's it. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And so every day I'm writing a book of who I was and who I am to people and how people reacted to who I am. That's what your legacy is,
Yeah.
right?
I agree 100%.
And so that's what I look at. And what I also look at is everybody isn't going to like your legacy and everybody isn't supposed to like it.
No.
And the reason why everybody isn't going to like it because they don't like how you act or how you, and so that's when the manipulation comes in.
Yeah.
And so we have to be aware of that, and then we put up our defense on that. So so that's it, my brother.
That's it, bro. We hope and pray that your wife have a great birthday.
She with me, so she always good.
Huh?
She with me, so she always good.
So again, we saying some extra prayers for her. Yeah, that she got to put up with you. That's extra prayers, but yeah,
I definitely appreciate. You know, I say this a lot on here. I may not. I tell her, but I probably say it more on here because us on here talking really reminds me of all that she does and how much I do appreciate her, right?
And it should.
I think, like I said, just us doing the podcast has been so much growth within me, within my relationship and everything else, because it really makes you look at situations and look at things. I was just on a Savannah did her TV show and I was on there.
Savannah Speaks.
Yes, yeah, and
awesome.
we were talking. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. So it airs next month.
Did they have to blur out your face, or they just let it be natural?
I told you I'm sending you a gift, right?
I'm scared to even open this gift, bro, because you
listen. Next week, y'all. I just want to put next week. I'm sending Renz a gift. He has to open it on here next week.
That's a trick, bro. I don't even know if I can trust you. I got to pray about this. I don't know if I can trust you.
He has to open it, and it's nice. When I say it's nice,
it's a nice gift.
It's nice.
I don't know.
And you have to wear it on the show.
I got to wear it on the show? So what is it, a shirt?
The show.
I don't even know if I can trust you. I'm going to have to go to God on this one.
Bruh, this me. You know I got you. I got you. You know. Do you trust me?
No. No.
What?
Hey, since it's your wife's birthday, you know how I knew she was a good woman?
How?
So I'm going to tell you, I'm silly, of course. So I'm at P's house, and his wife make eggs and pancakes. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm on the same level as P because she bringing me eggs and pancakes too. But when she got the P pancakes, y'all, why she cut this man pancakes up for him?
Shut up.
I knew she was a great wife when she cut this man pancakes up. Man.
You know what? But
I was jealous, but it was a good jealous. Is there a such thing as a good jealous? Because I was a good jealous, like, Lord, I need one of them.
I'm going to say this. They were talking about that earlier, but it's all about how you cater, right? Her catering to me, or her saying, I'm going to take this extra step to make sure you're this comfortable, or this and that.
She cut his pancakes up, y'all.
Is what makes me fall madly in love. Not just in love, madly, because I'm saying, man, she cares, right? And just that extra, and a lot of women won't take that extra step, or just take that extra, you know what I'm saying? Just to say, I just want to make you feel good, right? Or I just want to make you be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it's about. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing, because they say, well, I'm not going that far. I'm not doing this or that. And it shouldn't be beneath you. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes me feel so good and makes me say, you know what? I want the world to be yours.
Right.
Right. And I want to give that love back. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But we out of here, brother. We finna hit this road and go chill. But I got a good gift for you next week, my brother.
I was gonna strip, but I changed my mind at the last minute.
Bro, that bald head is enough.
Hey, safe travels to y'all, bro.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I'll see y'all later.